about the uselessness of a materialistic way of life. Being very kind to them, he instructed them as follows. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj's smiling is very significant. The other students were very much advanced and enjoying materialistic life through religion, economic development, and sense gratification. But Prahlad Maharaj laughed at them, knowing that this was not actual happiness. For real happiness is advancement in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Prahlad is giving us the wonderful verse about chewing the chew. How does it go? Who knows it? Yeah. Say it all over. Punas. Charvanana. Chewing the chew, that's what we're doing. We've already been there, seen that, done that. And they get bored, so they try to make it this way, that way, somehow different. They don't want just regular sex, they want kinky sex, upside down, backwards. This is because they're bored. I can't get no satisfaction. They're looking in the wrong place to find satisfaction. So Prahlad is advising us, no? Don't chew the chew. Take the Krishna consciousness, it's always new and fresh. You never have the feeling, oh, big here, seeing that. No, it's always dynamic, very dynamic. Krishna consciousness. So we should be careful to keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Knowing that that was not actual happiness. For real happiness is advancement in Krishna consciousness. That's the real happiness. And it's available to us. How do we know we're making advancement? Yeah, the first step, first sign that we're making advancement, we're losing our taste for the lusty affairs of this world. And we lose our greed. These people, they have much money, so much money, but they want more. They're never satisfied. The same with lust. Burns like fire, and it's never satisfied. When our desire for objects of the senses begins to diminish, then we can say, okay, yeah, now we're making tangible advancement. There's this sign. And on the positive side, of course, we'll be attracted to come to the Kirtan, to hear the class, to chant our rounds with attention. Once I was chanting, stop in front of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada turned to me. You listen when you chant? I wasn't listening properly, and Prabhupada could sense that. But I was a little defensive, and I was thinking, of course I listen, otherwise why am I doing it? And Prabhupada read my mind. He read my mind before I could speak. He said, I know you listen, but you have to listen very carefully, because this chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy. So that's a good instruction I got early on. When we're sitting for the job today, the mind can take us millions of places, right? But we have to bring it back to hearing. This is the key, to hear nicely. Guru Goswami is praying for thousands of millions of tongues and millions of ears so he can hear and chant this Maha Mantra. So much taste in the name Krishna. He finds so much taste. So that taste is there because Krishna is not different than his name. But we don't experience it because we're inattentive, or we're commit some other offense. Mostly we're inattentive. The mind is taking us here and there. But we have to bring it again. We see we're being carried by the mind, we have to curb the mind. Now, bring it back to the point of hearing very attentively. Yeah. Materialistic persons take to so-called religion to be. To be really happy. Materialistic persons take to so-called religion to get some blessings so that they can improve their economic position and enjoy the material world through sense gratification. People often come to me and ask for a blessing. We always ask, what kind of blessing do you want? What do you want? And because, we're Christian conscious, and mostly they say, I want to advance in spiritual life. But sometimes they say, oh, I have an exam coming, I need to pass, please bless me. So we're not into that business of getting you a new car or something like that. This is not our occupation. Our occupation is to, we can bless people, we can encourage people, we can pray for them, But what we should pray, and we should ask the advanced devotees to please help me be a better devotee, help me give up sense gratification. It's a gradual process, but like Kanvanga Maharaj, he became Krishna in one few minutes. He was helping the demigod, and when he was leaving, they told him they would like to give a benediction to him for his help. He said, okay, tell me when I'm going to die. So he calculated, I'm going to die in a few minutes. Then he became really serious, and he went back to Godhead. But we have to be like that, a little serious about Krishna consciousness. Because we don't know when death is coming, especially on these roads you have today. It's like a cultural shock for me. Okay, anyway. Blessings for you. But the devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj, laugh at how foolish they are to be busy in temporary life without knowledge of the soul's transmigration from one body to another. People don't have maybe they've heard of it, but they don't believe it, they don't actually accept it. But it's a fact. We're eternal. That's the verse I spoke on last night. Where Krishna tells Arjuna, you and I and all these things, we've always existed. In the past we existed as individuals. Now we're existing as individuals. And in the future we'll also exist as individuals. But there's no cause of lamentation. I'm going to die. You never die. But people don't believe that. And they think this world is all in all. And getting ahead in this world is their object, their goal. By hook or by crook, they try to advance, get an advantage here. Advantage over what? Others, an advantage over the material nature, exploit it in such a way. Cut down all the trees so we can make a quick profit. That happened in Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Haiti in one island called Iskcon. But the leaders were so bad that they just, to make their own profit, they cut down all the trees, and the soil ran away. And now it's a very poor country. On the same island, on the other hand, Dominican Republic, they were less greedy, and they have a good economy. But in Haiti, it's like the people are coming, the gangs, there's so many gangs, because they're poor, we should have money, and it's like it became hell, because of the greed of the leaders. So this is the danger. Greed is a very, you can say, dangerous master. But everybody's into it now. Even a millionaire. I was the richest Indian man in America. We went to see him all over the building. He's got a huge house. He brings all his relatives from India to stay in Florida. And he was on the phone to China. Or one of them, buy that. He has billions, but they're always thinking, how to get more. They never think, okay, I have enough. Let me devote my time to something real, like Krishna consciousness. So that same gentleman, I told him a story I had experienced with Srila Prabhupada. And we were staying at John on his estate. We could look out and see John and his driver. You could see his driver. He was there, had the car. And Prabhupada asked me, that driver, all he does is wait for John to take him to drive him? And I said, yes, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, that is the sign of a rich man. You can keep one guy to do this, and you stay all day, wait, and maybe he'll want to do something else. Because he's so rich. So then I got a little enthusiastic about John as well. I said, yes, Prabhupada, he's really rich. He probably would feel a bad smell. What kind of face do you make when you encounter a bad smell? So he made a face like that at me and he said, what is the use of all this money? He doesn't know how to spend it. And that's the fact. What is the use of your money? You don't spend it, you don't know how to spend it. You give it to your relatives. And then they've done scientific follow-up on people who win the jackpot or lottery. You get millions of dollars. You follow up 1 or 2 years later. They're worse off because of it. their family fights with them, and they're this. Money won't make you happy. That's a fact. So people think, no. And the other thing I see in India, especially education. Oh, if your children are not educated, you're parents. And how many years did they become a doctor? So the mother can say that. So we're not interested in those things. We're interested in Krishna. And following the footsteps of Prahlad, whenever there's an opportunity, we should preach about Krishna. Materialistic persons are engaged in striving for temporary benefits, whereas persons advanced in spiritual knowledge, such as Prahlad, are not interested in a materialistic way of life. Instead, they want to be elevated to an eternal life, knowledge and bliss. That was what Prabhupada is always teaching us. Don't be satisfied with these mundane accomplishments. Come to the point of it. Do a devotion, and then you'll be successful. His servants, the devotees of Lord Krishna, are also interested in educating the entire populace in Krishna consciousness. The mistake of materialistic life is understood by the devotees, and therefore they smile upon it, considering it insignificant. Out of compassion, however, such devotees preach the gospel of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. Prabhupada ki. That was his vision, to preach this all over the world. From the very beginning, he wanted international society for Krishna consciousness. He didn't want to just have a little center in New York. He wanted international. That was his move, from the beginning to the end. And I see something's happening here in India. A lot of men and women are coming, and I'm sure probably will be pleased with your Radhanasan Maharaj's work and the other leaders of Krishna Maharaj who are missing. So we should follow in their footsteps, and whenever opportunity is there, talk to people about Krishna. I see it's being done here. If somebody asks, you can use your intelligence, individual. We're all individuals. You don't have to be, do exactly what someone else is doing. We can innovate something. That's the proper use of the mind, to tax your brain, how to push on this movement. So we don't say give up your mind or give up your intelligence, and use everything in Krishna's service. This is our Yukta Vairagya, Guru Goswamis giving us this wonderful philosophy of how they use everything in Krishna's service. So we have to be alert, though. If there's something favorable for our devotional service, we should accept it. Something unfavorable, we reject it. That's our main consideration. Intelligence means you're making intelligent choices, or proper choices. So we have to choose. Is this favorable for my devotional service or not? If it's not, then don't touch it. You don't need it. You think you need it, but you don't. If you accumulate more, over-endeavor, all these things become anarthas. Working so hard, day and night. How I used to describe it. Like the horse working so hard that the foam is coming from his mouth. So we don't have to work like that. We should do everything cool-headedly, step by step, and the result will be there. You can be assured. Okay, any questions? Come on, it's a challenge. We're challenging you. There's a challenge.
Hare Krishna, thank you for a wonderful class.
Don't fly.
I have a challenge for you.
Oh. Your challenge?
My challenge is that you shared with us that Srila Prabhupada said that we should hear the sound of the Maha Mantra. We should listen. And it seems practically impossible. I'm hardly able to ever.
Yeah, hard is so hard. It means you can a little bit. And then from there you increase a little bit more. But still, it's a gradual process. That's there's no way around it. You won't find it immediately. But gradually you increase. quantity also. On the Ekadasi, Prabhupada would like us to chant more, at least 25 hours. And why not 30? 32 on the Ekadasi or Vasani, I'm sure you chant more. So yeah, it's a gradual process. And the reason it's a gradual process is because our heart is full of dirty things. Once a devotee wrote to Prabhupada, in the early days, this was, he said, Srila Prabhupada, since I've been chanting Hare Krishna, I noticed that there's so many dirty things that I didn't even know I had that are coming out. I'm more contaminated than I thought. And Prabhupada said, yes, you have noted the first step. It's like when you're cleaning a room, you take the step. So it looks like more dirt is there. You're bringing out the dirt. But go on sweeping, and it becomes clean. Go on, so Prabhupada said, go on chanting, and it will become clean. That's what we want. A clean heart. And the only recommended way, Harinam, Harinam, Harinam. Hey, anyone else? That's a good question. Okay, microphone's coming.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for a nice class. When you are advancing in the spiritual journey, but who or who have to try what it means can you please explain?
Well, I think I might have used that phrase, the book of the cook. But Prabhupada is referring to selling a book. So what, in other words, we're living in society, we can't just break the law. Sometimes the Lord isn't doing that. They were stealing. Yeah. No, everything belongs to Krishna. But they're using it in service of Maya, so if we take it from them, that's okay, because we're using it in Krishna service. And they were doing like that. And Prabhupada heard and was very disturbed. He said, no, you have to follow the law. You can't be thieves. But they were justifying it, and they were making a lot of money. They used to call it midnight sankirtan. Completely curbed it. Anyone else? Mataji?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Kodi Kodi Dana Pranams. Please accept my most humble and respectful obeisances onto your lotus feet as servant of your servant. Maharaj, my question is that what efforts should we put from our side so that Krishna will open the doors of Shuddha Nam for us?
Should we?
What efforts should we put forward so that Krishna will open the door to Shuddhanam for us?
Oh, that's a good question. You should put full effort.
So what we should do? What efforts, which efforts we should do?
You should come to class and ask the sannyasis question. You're doing the right thing. Thank you for being here. You spoke to me yesterday, right? Yeah. She's a good girl. She's got a lot of followers. Lady. So that's okay. You're doing good. Continue. It's a gradual process. Now, how old are you? 20?
Yes, or 22.
No? 22.
22 years.
By the time you're my age, you'll have a big following. No, really. She's a charismatic girl. So 22, and I'm 84. How many years is that? 62 years. You just have to think like that. Let me continue like this for the rest of my life and leave the result to Krishna. Don't be too much worried about it.
And Maharaj, how to cry for Krishna? How to cry
You're proud. Yeah, I have a PhD. Why do I have to listen to you? What's your education? So they don't. That's the danger of any material asset that you have. Rich men, educated men, they become proud. And they don't, in order to hear, you have to be humble. It's the first qualification. Admit you're in an awkward position and you need help. But these people don't do that. They don't think they need help. They're going to give you help. We have a hospital, we're feeding the poor, then they're proud. Like this rich man that I met in America, India, the richest Indian outside of India, or at least in America, in the USA. He's the richest Indian in the USA. But he couldn't hear. He couldn't hear. Oh, I should hear from you. Is that kind of cool? I suggested when I was with him, I said, we could come to your house sometime and have a program. He wouldn't do it. You in my house? I don't let soldiers in my house. He didn't say that. But that's how he was thinking. They miss opportunity. So what do you do?
Convey the message of the Prabhupada and teaching of Lord Chaitanya to them so that they can take shelter of the Lord.
We try our best to make the result official. It's not so easy. We've been preaching in Bombay or Pune for how many years?
More than 40 years.
More than 40 years. But we have just a handful of, compared to the whole population, what percentage do we have who are full-time employees? Less than 1%. Yeah. But why? Because they have their own life. And they don't, therefore that verse a day, what is it? 7, who knows? Come on. He became a devotee. I was there when he was becoming a devotee. He used to go on the street and sing. That's how he made a living. They call him master. So, and by material estimation, this guy's a beggar on the street singing with a cup to try to get money. But because he was a little humble, now he's a big sannyasi in Iskcon, and rightly so. So we have to judge who's better off. The rich man who's making so much money by singing, or a simple singer like him. Now he's singing a wonderful Harinam. He's looking for the sincerity, not how much money you have. Okay, we'll stop here then. One more.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, can you tell what was the general schedule of Srila Prabhupada for the whole day, and especially on Ekadasi? And also, he used to hear that Prabhupada never used to travel Thursday.
Never carried one.
Huh?
Baba never
Travel, used to travel.
Thursday afternoon. That's what that is. Thursday afternoon is inauspicious to travel. That's what I heard. So
Prabhupada used to follow that.
we don't need to do anything, but if we feel that it might be better to do it, then we can do it. Probably didn't have made it as one of the principles of Krishna We do have principles. There are a lot of things that we should do, but this is optional. Like Siddhanta used to do it. He would take his bag for an auspicious time, he'd put his bag out of the house. And then that was considered he was starting his journey. And also astrology. Sometimes they use it, Baba used it sometimes. So it doesn't mean every time. And sometimes he also said, for sannyasis is not. This is astrology. Otherwise, it's a big science, but the problem is there's nobody knows it so well.
he did not emphasize that principle as the compulsory, but at the same time he had followed it very seriously. So we were thinking that what was the exactly reason behind
You
following
have to
it.
ask them when you meet them. I'm sure you're going to meet them. You're all going to meet them.
We were.
And what Sri Prabhupada used to spend the day of Ekadashi generally. Ekadashi.
What you do is to fast from grains and beans. Yeah. He would do that. He would eat something.
How he spent the day of Ekadashi.
I was never Robert's traveling servant, so I don't know exactly what did he do. I mean, I don't think he changed his program much. I remember once we were traveling, and Petunia, who was is he still with us? Still on the planet. He was traveling with Prabhupada, and he was a scholar. And somehow we missed the goddess. We broke Prabhupada too. We broke the goddess by taking rain. And Prabhupada chastised him. What's the use of having a scholar with us if you can't tell us when the goddess is? So he took it just like the same way he's giving to us. No grains or increasing his job. He told us that it would be good if we could chant at least 25 miles on the path. But he didn't make it a restriction, that we have to. We have to chant 16 rounds. We take a vow to do that. But he didn't, the vow in Ekadashi is no grains. And that's also good. Okay, grains. Okay, next, I think it's getting late. Maybe we should stop. Thank you very much. Huh?
Time is there now.
Oh, we have to stay tonight? Okay, I don't know, I'm having fun.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Give the microphone.
Maharaj, in this purport, this devotees laugh. Devotees laugh at when people enjoy sense gratification because they don't have understanding of higher pleasure. It's mentioned there.
Yes.
So I was thinking that when devotees, when people do some mistakes or somebody on a banana tree falls down, so one gives a very good laugh, in kind of mockery kind of feeling. So when devotees laugh at somebody enjoying sense gratification because they cannot enjoy the highest pleasure. So what is the mood and which type of how that is possible?
Yeah, it's like an internal thing. You laugh at their foolishness. They think they're going to be happy like that. So it's like ridiculous. So in one sense, there's some humor there. That you're doing something that's impossible. To find happiness in the material world. But you try to, but in the second part of that same sentence, Prabhupada mentions, or the next sentence after that, laughing there. Prabhupada says, therefore the devotees go and canvassing, they have compassion. So it's not that we're just sitting back and watching people go to hell and taking pleasure to them. Prabhupada, so much of it. I told a story yesterday, right? How we were alone in Hong Kong with 7 or 8 men, and Prabhupada came. There was one devotee who was having trouble, and Prabhupada got him to speak about his difficulties. And he asked me to speak about my difficulties. Then I asked Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada, tell us your most difficult time in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada became very sober. And he said, you don't want to know about it. And I was thinking, oh, maybe he didn't tell us. Just by hearing about it, we had broke our back. So Prabhupada did so much, and what? To his greatest measure, he wasn't laughing at people, he was sorry for them, that they were suffering, and he had a solution. Therefore he was compassionate. But still, if a child does something backwards, we can laugh. Because we understand it's a child he doesn't know. But still, from us, we get a little chuckle easily. So it's the same way. This rich man, you know, wouldn't let me near his house because. So we can get a laugh at that. He's missing opportunity, and there's nothing I can do about it. I offered to come to his house and have a program there, and he laughs. So to me, that's also humorous that he's missing. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Here's one.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That's
Maharaj, yesterday, me and my friend, we were discussing about that, how many Srila Prabhupada disciples, they met only few times. And some of them, they didn't even met Srila Prabhupada. Only by later they got initiation. So I was thinking, we were just discussing that how by this they could become so serious and so sincere in the spiritual life. And I've been hearing, and we have been hearing for so many years altogether. Still that seriousness has not come back. At least I can say this for myself. So,
Can I laugh? I laugh at that because why not serious? What's so hard about being serious? Either you're serious for Krishna consciousness or you're serious about sense gratification. Because life is serious. Everybody in the karmis know that. They're going to die. So they take things very seriously. You see them on the road, right? The scooters are going. They're serious. They have to be serious, otherwise they'll be killed in a second. So where are they going? So in such a serious way with your motor scooter, with your wife in the back. It's like it bewilders me. Because you have to be serious. If you're not serious, you can have an accident in 1 second out of it. So they're so serious. But what is the use of that seriousness? We want you to be Tivrena, Bhakti Yogena. Tivrena means serious. So you're not serious after so long? Then I feel sorry for you. I pray that you become, because that's the price. You have to be very serious in order to get the full mercy of the Lord. Tivrena, look at that, look up that word. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena means intensely. What is the word Tivrena translated? And some more questions? Get the microphone back there, behind you. We have to do it with great force.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Maharaj, my question is, you just briefly touched upon how, especially in India, people have this strong desire to have very high educational qualifications. And even in devotee communities, because we have come with that conditioning, myself, you have to strive hard for education. So even in devotee communities, we see that everyone is struggling hard for education. There are so many entrance exams and everything, and so what ends up happening is, because you end up prioritizing that, a lot of time goes into that, and time which could instead be maybe utilized in doing the 9% devotional service, you end up instead using that time in education.
Yeah.
So,
Therefore, we'll have like that. Why not use that time to research the literature? We have so much literature. Like Jiva Goswami is considered the most, probably considered him the most intelligent philosopher ever lived. But why not become absorbed in and learning verses, and then you can help it that people like me who aren't so intelligent as you can give me verses and say, what are this? Yeah, this will help it. In other words, use that same desire to be educated, to educate yourself on spiritual subjects. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. You can learn it backwards and forward, learn verses. Then you're using the same tendency to educate yourself. That's more valuable. Otherwise, we can always hire somebody to do something, but you can't hire a devotee. You can hire somebody to fix your refrigerator. He's got education there, how to fix the refrigerator. I don't know how to do it. So that's what it is. People learn how to manipulate this energy, how to make a cell phone and these things, and they get a lot of money for it, but they don't get Krishna. So we should say, okay, we can use these innovations and these inventions, but if we're going to spend our time, we should use our time to go deeper into the philosophy and to learn the person. It would be very helpful if we had scholars who are really good and they could give you a quote. Like when I'm giving class, I'm looking for somebody, if I know this guy is a real scholar, I ask him, so, what about this? And he can read me, 6 stanza, what? That's a valuable thing. Why not use it in that way? To learn the Bhagavatam.
Maharaj, so kind of like a counter argument for that is when a person with very low educational qualifications approaches another person who might be much more highly qualified educationally, they will look down about that person. They are not willing to hear that person at all. On the other hand, because that's the other thing, like Pratishtha is something very big in India. Like the more number of degrees you write after your name, the more higher that people are going to look up at you, right? So if you go
that wasn't Prabhupada's mood though. He made a couple of exceptions. Like the British group, he was getting a PhD in Prabhupada, he continued. But generally, Prabhupada did, just like he told me. I said, Prabhupada, I want to get a book on how to give a massage. And Prabhupada said, not necessary. Read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will tell you how to do it. So, why should we spend our time, trying to understand this material creation? It's all material creation. It's endlessly mutable. You're never going to know everything. How many atoms in this room? How many, it's like, so why, who cares what they think? If they don't, if you're learning in Bhagavatam and they laugh at that, well, that's their problem. And they do laugh at it, yeah. I listened to one Indian scholar was lamenting that in the past, so many people became sadhus and they didn't learn material science. So we say just the opposite. Good thing some of them didn't become, material scientists and whatever, IT people. IIT? ITT. So much time you're learning all these things. But I can hire somebody to do that. But you can't hire somebody to go to class. You'll be left off the vyasa. So why not become conversant with the literature? And wherever you go, people will be eager to hear. You just travel in devotional circles. Don't mix with these people. You mix with them just to get something. Yeah, you can get something from them. I Google all the time. Google things, what is this? It's very valuable when you learn. But why do we have to be the one to learn? There's so many learning. They're doing it because they can make money. That's the main motive. It can be another, what was the richest guy with IGT? IIT? Steve Jobs. He used to eat that Krishna house. But I called him, but he didn't want to meet me. Because he was in California before he got sick. Now he's dead. Okay, one more. Mataji. They're making you come. Nobody gets bored sitting here like this. It's good.
My question is that sometimes all this bhakti and responsibility starts feeling a little overwhelming because it's not like I'm doing it because I like it. It's like a sense of duty because there's a fall down in that place.
Yeah, we're praying to get a higher taste. That's a good prayer. You can come. Please, Swamiji, help me get a higher taste. I don't just know what to do. But in the meantime, the duty is there. That was one of the arguments Krishna gave to Arjuna. It's your duty, you're a Kshatriya, you should fight on a principle of religion. This is the principle of fighting that I'm asking you to do. why are you not doing your duty? The duty is required. But we have to change it. I'll give an example. Satsuma Maharaj was a secretary to Srila Prabhupada. Early days, Prabhupada was speaking into the dictaphone, and then it would be recorded. And so Satsuma would come and get the recording, and then he would listen to it and type it out. He was doing that every day. And then he did it one day, he came like that, and he gave it the thing and took it. And Prabhupada said it was kind of mechanical. He said, you know, we're doing this. I'm staying up night like this and doing this work because I love my spiritual master. And so you should think like that. I'm doing this out of the love of my spiritual master. Then it won't become so dry and you get a higher taste. Because you have somebody you love, your guru, like that. Then you please them and you feel satisfied. The example we gave, right? The young boy is playing with his friends. He's having fun. But his father calls him, please son, come and help me. He's an 8-year-old boy. And the boy helps his father, and he does something tangible to help his father. And his father is really grateful for that. And he tells him, thank you so much, my boy. And when the boy gets that blessing from the father, he feels more happiness than he did playing with his friend. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for mercy from above. And when that mercy comes, we think, wow, this is a wonderful feeling. At least we Prabhupada. And he's a person, and you're a person, and so there should be love. So like that, you can find somebody that you love, who's Krishna conscious, and that's what generally we say, the women are married, the husband should be somebody they look up to. He's the first guru. You love your husband and you don't mind working for him. That's the best thing to do. And the other, are you satisfied, Babaji?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excuse me.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for this discussion. Since the context is of education here, Srila Prabhupada is saying, I am just trying to understand what way he wants this education to be. So he is saying that those interested in spiritual life should follow Prahlad Maharaj in rejecting the education of religion, economic development and sense gratification. One should be interested in spiritual education. And so Krishna consciousness movement is doing that level. So when it comes to education, Maharaj, then there are, like if we say material education, there are institutes, there are courses, there are exams, there is study. So when Prabhupada is saying that there should be spiritual education, what kind of spiritual education Prabhupada wants us to do?
Like I'm saying, learn the verses. Learn your Bhagavad. There's so much. When I'm reading over again, I'm giving a Zoom class sometimes. So I'm reading, wow, this is such wonderful stuff. These purpose, Prabhupada's purpose is so enlivening. So why not become a scholar like that? Learn Bhagavatam. Learn Bhagavad Gita. It's like I'm saying, if you know Bhagavad Gita shlokas, you can be an asset to any preacher. If the preacher knows that you're really a scholar, you know Bhagavad Gita backwards and forwards, he'll call on you. What is that verse? Because that's what I get a little remembrance of half of the verse, and then I don't know the Sanskrit or something. But if there's somebody there who can help me, then we can be a good team to get the message across with authority. So the main thing is that we're becoming Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada said a little education is required. We should learn how to write. Like that came to the point of women. Prabhupada, how much education should we give our girls? And Prabhupada said at least enough. They can read and write and read my books, but not too much. He didn't approve of them giving PhDs. Better to have children and raise them to be Krishna conscious. For the women especially. And for the men also. Very rarely did Prabhupada encourage anybody to go back to the university. And then, because you have to sit there submissively and hear from these people who they should be hearing from you. You have to. Don't why do that? Unless it's a special thing that you want to learn to, further your Krishna consciousness. Otherwise. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srimad Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.
Jai! Jai!
Thank you very much for your enthusiasm, patience, and the Pune management authorities for kindly hosting Maharaj for this time. So Maharaj has written a nice book, Priceless Moments with a Pure Devotee, about his memories and experiences and services and his suggestions, his contribution to Prabhupada. And it has been well received and appreciated throughout the Iskcon by many senior Vaishnavas. And this goes on vital names, including our dear Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj as well. Any devotees would like to avail this book, it's a nice opportunity. So, personally signed by Maharaj. So, please come and collect it from me for a small donation of 200 rupees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Also, Maharaj is going to sing the Gaurati today evening, and we will have a class after that by Maharaj. So, devotees are welcome. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Sri Swami Maharaj ki
Jai!
Sri Prabhupada ki
Jai!
पॉज करो और सेव होना चाहिए छोड़ दो तो कर देंगे चाहे तो डुबला हो गया कर देगा वो कटिंग फिटिंग करना वॉइस में करता हूँ वैसे उससे आता है तो पोस्ट जो भी रिज्यूम डालते हैं उनको देखता भी नहीं इसका है क्या अपने वालों को ज़्यादा पहले एक्चुअली क्या हुआ कि मतलब शाम अपना बताने में क्या